Former vice president would be a likely nominee. Richard Nixon, Hubert Humphrey, George H.W. Bush. But fortunes were not as kind to Mike Pence, as the president he has served has spent his time slamming his former partner on the campaign trail, and the GOP base mostly abandoning him. Maura Gillespie, Blue Stack Strategies founder, joins us now. So, Maura, I mean, people are surprised because they didn't expect this announcement right now today. What calculations do you think went into Mr. Pence deciding now is the time he should bow out?
As Nikki Haley pointed out, he is a man of faith, and I'm sure he's prayed on this decision and took it seriously. And I think, history is going to be kind to Mike Pence, and we'll be, looking back, grateful that he stood by the Constitution and really stood by his own moral compass when times needed it and when the country needed it most. But, I think being called to serve, and I think that for Mike Pence, he ran because he felt called to serve. And so many running for president and frankly, for higher office, don't always do that. They run for the wrong reasons. But that's not also maybe the best messaging. You need to have a reason why and share that with voters. And I don't think that Mike Pence was able to communicate and compel voters to get behind him. Yeah, it's a long, distinguished conservative career as a congressman, as governor of Indiana, then serving as vice president. But let's take a look at the poll numbers. He's basically number 5, and that's a surprising place for a former vice president. He's under Vivek, as you can see, at 4%. Real Clear Politics average has him at 3.5%. What is the reason you think, the overwhelming reason why he didn't gain traction? Sometimes the loudest voices tend to get the most attention, right? That doesn't mean that the loudest voices are the smartest. And Mike Pence really focused on his experience as a governor, as congressman, and really focused a lot on policy issues that he felt strongly about. And while that's fantastic, and we should want to see more of that from our nominees, that maybe isn't the biggest rallying cry. Again, you have to really compel voters and donors to get behind you. I will say, though, that it'll be interesting to see if he does decide to throw his support to anyone and where his supporters go. Because, again, he wasn't, kind of a, loud voice, but he really did focus on policy. And so those who did support him and those who did donate to him, they're going to be looking for a candidate that's more well-rounded than, say, someone like Vivek, who is just there to get attention and to be in the spotlight. You really, I think, what Mike Pence dropping out is for the good of the party, but also good of the country. And it's an opportunity for candidates, especially ahead of the next debate, to start wooing those voters and wooing those donors.
And he also recently has ratcheted up his attacks on the former president. And as you know, he came under a lot of criticism from Mr. Trump supporters for certifying the election, saying he was doing his constitutional duty and that the election was not stolen, was fair and correct, the result of Mr. Biden being elected, obviously. Here's what he also said during the speech today in Las Vegas.
Now, to the American people, I say this is not my time, but it's still your time. I urge you to hold fast to what matters most: faith, family, and the Constitution of the United States of America.
30 seconds left. That's a reference to the Constitution. I also talked about the need for civility. Your thoughts?
Answering the call to serve is something that Mike Pence did time and time again, and we should look back on that with, it's an honorable thing he did. We should want more people to be doing that. And I loved that line, that it may not be my time, but it's yours. And we have a real opportunity here, especially as a Republican Party, to put somebody forward who can really turn things around for us with integrity, with honor, and with an understanding of how important it is to protect our institution and the Constitution of the United States.
Maura Gillespie, thank you. Mike Pence, not in the race, but certainly not gone.